What's up everyone, welcome back to my channel. So if you guys have been following me on my social media, you know that about 2 weeks ago I announced that I am roped. In this video, I'm going to explain how everything kind of happened, and there were a lot of sentimental attachments and a lot of emotions that went through this ceremony, and I wanted to share it with you. But first of all, I thought, why not just explain to you guys what a Roka essentially is? Even I was confused in the beginning and I had to do a little bit of research. And if I am wrong at any point at explaining this, please put that explanation down below. So essentially, back in the day, traditional style was that the guy's family would come to the girl's family and they would see each other, and then they would agree if they're gonna get married or not. And if yes, then sweets were passed around and just a celebration. So that's what a Roka is. It's essentially that the person is roked. It's a stop right before the marriage, basically. They're trying to say that the next process now is just straight marriage. But that being said, I was really confused between the Roka and the engagement, because to me, I thought the Roka is essentially an engagement, and it actually is. It's just that engagement has the exchanging of the wedding bands. And so for us in our family, it just depends on what your family looks at what a Roka really is. For us, that was the engagement. Families had already met prior to this and they've hung out. That being said, on August 13th, I had my Roka ceremony with Hark, and it was so beautiful. It was so intimate. I loved everything about it. So basically the background is there was a lot of chaos going on with scheduling. We wanted to do this back in May, but unfortunately Hark's schedule, my schedule, and my dad's schedule, which was super chaotic, was just not matching up. And literally like 48 hours beforehand, it kind of worked out that we're all in town, all together. Let's do this. Let's move forward with it, because that was the step that we wanted to do next. And then after that, we wanted to plan our wedding. And yeah, 48 hours beforehand to do all of this is chaotic. Because it was last minute, I literally was like, oh my God, what am I gonna wear? And I thought, okay, I'm gonna go get an outfit from one of the clothing stores that is nearby and pick up something really nice and simple and wear that for the Roka ceremony. Then it kind of hit me. I was like, wait, all of a sudden a light bulb went off in my head, and I'm like, why am I not wearing my mom's wedding suit? I've seen her lehenga. Her lehenga was really, really heavy. But I also remember in the past I'd seen pictures and it looked like she was wearing something that was lighter than the lehenga, but I wasn't sure what ceremony that was. So I grabbed the album, went through it, and found pictures of her wedding day, and she was wearing this beautiful brown colored suit. But I was so confused because I'm like, it's brown and white because she's wearing something white underneath. Guys, the weather in India is cold in January, so my mom wore a sweater underneath her suit. She still looked cute though. Obviously, as I'm explaining it, you guys are seeing the pictures. I had never seen this suit, okay? My mom has never shown it to me, and I remember her telling me that it was packaged away. She never told me where it was packaged away. She just said that it's kind of fallen apart, but she put it somewhere. And so my dad, I called him and I was like, you know what? I think this would be such a beautiful surprise for mom and such a full circle moment. So can you find out where the suit is? Okay, my dad and we are literally sometimes the worst at finding information because the other person will already know something's going on. But luckily this time, my mom didn't. I went and sat outside. My mom was sitting in the backyard and she was just lying down on the couch. And I went to her and I was like, so talking about a bunch of things. And then I'm like, Mom, where's your wedding suit? What did you wear? You wore a suit, right? And just trying to keep up that conversation. And she's like, yeah, like, I don't know where it is. All of a sudden my dad calls. He's like, Arvinder, because, you know, Tia is now planning her wedding. Where's that outfit that you wore? And she's like, oh, and she just looks at me because I had literally just asked about it. And I was like, oh my God, Dad, you could have called me before asking her, because I literally called my dad 10 minutes before that with that idea. Anyways, she was like, honestly, it's somewhere in the basement, somewhere in all the old suitcases. My mom's like, okay, whatever. She didn't really clue in. But then I went downstairs. I told her I'm gonna go work out, and we have a gym in the basement. So I told her I'm working out, and I literally rummaged through all the suitcases. And since I had gone through the photo albums, I had a picture of her wedding suit, and I brought that downstairs with me and just rummaged through all the suitcases. Could not find it. And then I saw this one suitcase. Like, let me tell you, you know, if you go to India, you know you have those Indian suitcases, okay? You just look at it, you're like, yep, this is a suitcase for somebody who goes back and forth to India. There was this one white, massive, checkered one. Looked like a massive briefcase, but I was like, it has to be in there. I open it, smells like India. And honestly, guys, I'm not gonna lie, I know this is a weird thing to say, but I genuinely love when I open up a suitcase and it smells like back home. I don't know, that's me, that's my personal opinion. Anyways, I went through through all the clothes that were in there and I found this brown outfit. It was wrinkled up and the tage, which is like all the design work and everything on it, was just falling off. Grabbed the picture and I was like, is this the same thing? And then I called my bhabi, which is my sister-in-law, because my cousin lives with me and his wife lives with us and their son. And she's like, yeah, it is the suit. It's just that they've taken off some areas, but it is the exact suit. I was like, okay, thank God. And then I was nervous because I'm like, okay, let me try it on, this beautiful brown colored suit. And I was kind of skeptical about the color, but it looked so good. And when I tried it on, it fit perfectly. It was slightly loose, but I was like, you know what? I don't want to alter anything. I don't want to change anything up. I don't want to ruin it because it's such a old, I was gonna say Purana, my, you know, whenever I'm talking about all this stuff, my Hindi and Punjabi naturally kicks in. But yeah, so it was such an old suit and I didn't want to ruin it. So I left it as it is. And I called my friend Amar and I was like, can you fix this for me? And he owns TiaKBhatia Fashion, him and his family. And so I went to the store, I showed them the outfit, the suit, and they're like, okay, the kadai work, which is all the yarns that were coming out and the embroidery, sorry. And they're like, we can't really fix it because this is completely ruined on one side. But they said that they can pull the yarn pieces out to make it look a little bit cleaner. So that's what they did. And they kind of helped me fix it up. Perfect. I was like, great. And when I was steaming it, it took forever because it has been rummaged in a suitcase, like literally not even packed properly. It was just that it was ruined. So I think it just got thrown in there, but it wasn't even packaged properly. Like my mom's lehenga is packaged so beautifully that she wore to her reception. It is stunning. The dupatta is so heavy and I love it. Basically, steaming took a very long time. In that moment, I remember I was like, you know, I'm going to keep it simple. And then all of a sudden I'm like, wait, why am I really keeping it simple? I actually don't think it was 48 hours beforehand. I think it was like 72 hours beforehand. And I'm like, why am I keeping it simple? This is my Roka. Like, what am I doing? So I called my girl, Nancy. I'm like, hey, can't tell anyone. I'm getting roked. I want you to do my makeup. Can you do it? And luckily she had that availability in time and she was able to put me in. I called my other girl, Sarah, who owns the company Breath of Henna. Amazing, amazing henna artist. Called her. She's like, okay, come in. And then I was like to Hark, I was like, I want a photographer. I want memories. I want to keep this for us. We just got a photographer. So all of a sudden, everybody ends up being free on that day. It just worked out so last minute. And I was like, okay, I feel like there's something in the universe working and conspiring to make this happen. And then when it comes to jewelry, I really wanted to wear a set that my mom had bought many, many years ago. And I knew it'd be perfect and timeless with the outfit. And just a complete surprise to her. It was an ode to her. Anyways, the day came. It was officially August 13th, 2023. I get so giddy. I'm such a little girl, but I get so giddy because that is the day that I got to, you know, be engaged to my best friend and the love of my life. And it's so nice to say that out loud because I have gotten so many comments from a lot of people on social media. They're always like, always the bridesmaid, never the bride, this is this, whatever, whatever. And I'm like, I don't need to showcase anything that is going on in my life. That's something I want to keep private. Like one thing I really truly believed, and this is what I did with my relationship with Hark, is that you keep it private, but it's not a secret. So those who know, know. And if other people find out, they find out. But I definitely kept that off of social media as much as I could. And I just wanted it to be a complete surprise. The day came, I woke up super early. I had so much anxiety, so many nerves, and I've hung out with the family so many times. I've hung out with his family so many times. They're great. And like, he's hung out with my family. So I don't know why I was just so nervous. I was so anxious. I kept getting emotional. I kept like I was literally like, I know this is being dramatic, but this is who I am. I am a dramatic person. I have a dramatic personality. And even when I have anxiety, it is traumatized. I went in the morning to Nancy's place. She only did my makeup. I had to do my hair and she did such a beautiful job. And it was so nice to be around great energy, especially on one really, really important day. It's so important like who you're surrounded with because anything can shift your mood. And I was like thankful that my girl Nancy was doing this. A day beforehand, I got my mehndi done and it was so stunning. It was so nice because I really picked to be surrounded by people who have positive vibes because it's such an important day that was coming up and I just wanted to surround myself with positivity and love. And Sarah is amazing and she killed it and we just talked and talked and talked and I literally put in my mehndi. Funny enough, Hark knows every Bollywood song. He just doesn't know what movies they're from. And I made him watch Kuch Kuch Hota Hai recently because we went from best friends to being in a relationship. So I will always joke around, Pyar Dosti Hai. And he never understood it. And I made him watch Kuch Kuch Hota Hai 2 weeks beforehand. So he finally got it. So in my mehndi, I had Saira put Pyar Dosti Hai. I left it to that, and it was just super, super amazing and so beautiful, so intricate. I didn't change into my suit or anything because I was like, I need to change into it here. I had locked my bedroom door so my mom could not go in. And I came here and she's like, oh, you look so beautiful and everything. And then I kind of helped my mom a little bit get ready. And then I went inside the room and I put on my outfit. I put everything together. And when Hark's family arrived, I recorded a small video just to watch them come in. And I'm telling you, my heart was beating like, it was doing that, okay? And then my cousin, he put on, I think, Ajadin Kuchiyan Da Sajana, and blasted it and was dancing and everything, and they came in and it was really, really nice. And then they sat down in the formal room and I could hear them talking, and then Simran came upstairs. Simran is Hark's sister. Guys, I am so blessed with Simran in my life. Like, I'm so happy that she is my family. She is literally like, I don't even know how to explain it. We're homies. I tell her things, she tells me things. I have a beautiful bond with her. So I'm very, very lucky. And so she came upstairs, we hung out. I was already filming a Get Ready With Me. And so I put her in the video. I already released that on TikTok. And then we had like an emotional moment where I started tearing up, she started tearing up, and we're both trying not to make each other cry, but it was not helping. And then Hark texted and he was like, okay, come down in like a minute. And so Simran went downstairs, and I already told my cousin I wanted to play a song while I was walking down. And Hark and I had literally seen Rocky Arani 2 days beforehand, and the song Kurmai, I couldn't figure out what I wanted to walk down to. Hark told me the night before, do the song Kurmai. We did that, and I literally waited for that part to kick in, and I started walking down the steps, and you can see it in the video, so I'll let you guys go on towards that. When I saw my mom, she literally, as I was walking around our center area, if you see my house tour, you can see that it's open, but we made sure nobody looked up. And I went around and came down the stairs, and my family turned around, and when my mom saw me, she didn't really recognize the outfit I was wearing in that moment, but then all of a sudden it hit her. And my dad, I could see him emotional, and I'm like trying to control myself, and I started walking a little bit faster because I got very nervous. I said hi to Hark, and he's like, how are you? And it was just really, really such a sweet moment. But as much as I was there to, you know, have my Roka ceremony and Hark was there, my mind and heart went straight to my mom and dad. My mom, I go and hug her, and she just broke down. And she broke down because she recognized the outfit. And I don't know, it just makes me super emotional when I talk about it. And then I went to go hug my dad, and he just wouldn't hug me. And then he kissed me, but he wouldn't hug me. And then he finally hugged me. And as he's kissing me on my forehead, all of a sudden he just started crying and breaking down. And I was like, oh my God. And then I started crying. It was just a whole emotional journey that was going on. And then I said hi to everyone who was there, and like I said, we kept it very intimate, his family, my family, and then we went into the formal room. Oh, right before that, Taj is so cute, my nephew. Guys, he brought me flowers, and I asked him for a hug, and then he ran away, and I was like, all right, you do you. So yeah, we went into the formal room, we sat down, we took pictures, we did the sweets. I got these beautiful, beautiful kangans, which are these amazing bracelets from Hark's mom, and just both families were just so amazing with each other, and we took so many pictures, a lot of fun moments. Taji also fed me. No, don't.
Okay, hold on. Taji, it's here.
Wow.
Put it again, try again. Ready? Okay.
Very good, Taji.
So there was this one part where, you know, your parents have to feed one person and then feed the other person the same thing. And I don't know if it was a date or if it was some sort of sweet, but my dad had to feed Hark, and then my dad really didn't want to feed me after. He's like, no, can you get a new one? He just cannot put his mind to the fact that this is happening. Like, even what happened, let me just tell you guys what happened 2 days ago. There was some practices and stuff like that going on for a huge celebration that I'm gonna be doing as well. And my dad he goes, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I'm at so-and-so's house. He's like, what are you doing there? And I'm like, oh, dance practice. He's like, for what? He goes, for what? For who? And I'm like, my celebration, Dad. He's like, oh, like, it's like he cannot grasp on to the fact that it's actually happening. But of course, he was super emotional when all of it was happening. Took these beautiful pictures. Then Hark and I went outside and took our pictures, and we ended up hanging out for hours and hours after that. Let me just add one more thing. There was one part that when they came, we decided that we're gonna do ardas upstairs in our Babaji room. We go to do the ardas. My mom does ardas every single day of her life. She has it memorized. I know it. You know, my dad knows it. She was so nervous. She goes, I can't do it. And she kept trying to do it and she couldn't do it. She goes, can someone please help me out or go get our gutka? And my hubby went downstairs to go get it and she just couldn't find the page for the ardas after. My mom was just like anxiety galore. And then finally I'm like, Mom, just take a deep breath. You got this. You can do it. She did it. It was beautiful. And the second the ardas was done after we got the prashad, and as we were leaving the room, my mom went against the wall. She goes like this and she just starts crying, like full on crying. And I was like, oh my God, Mom, like this, it just, that ceremony taught me how emotional everything is going to be. And I have to say that Irvin, shout out to Irvin because he took our pictures. He did this last minute for us and the pictures came out so dope, so amazing. And I had released the photos on September 5th, which was Hark's birthday. I knew that it would be a big thing, but I didn't expect it to be this big. The amount of love and appreciation everybody gave and all you guys have given me throughout all these years. I cannot wait to have this new chapter in my life and this new journey with you guys. You guys are my family and I want you to always be a part of it. And that's why with my social media, even with YouTube, I know I don't post as much on YouTube, but hopefully I can pick up on that again. You guys are my family. I'm not gonna abandon you guys. I'm gonna keep making those videos. And I just want to say thank you guys for being so patient with me. Thank you guys for supporting. And Hark and I are so excited to start this new chapter and journey with you all. And I love you from the bottom of my heart. This is gonna be such an emotional journey. There's a lot of stuff going on now. I'm excited, I'm nervous, I'm anxious, but we'll get through it together, right? Anyways, thank you guys for watching and I hope you enjoyed the story time and I will see you guys very soon. Bye.